Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bumper Shoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
We usually like to do a little recap of the weekend, and I feel like that's going to take way too much time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we've had a little traumatic weekend.
We were together.
Yes, on Friday.
we were together on Friday.
Yeah, we had a delicious sushi dinner at Umi. At Pachanga.
It was so good.
And then I'm not even the gambler, but I sat down to play a slot, and Rhonda and Tracy were standing over me going, come on, yeah, let's go. My mom calls, and I'm like, oh, Tracy was just asking if you were here. Because my mom's a regular. And
On the down low.
she was like, I don't know, I got this text. And so anyway, long story short, she thought it was a scam on her phone, but it was really a truck driver that had to pull over because there was an accident. And it turns out it was my stepdad in an accident. So he's going to be okay, but he had a major femur break that he went right into surgery the next day and got a rod in, and then he broke his hand. Also on the same leg of his femur, he broke his kneecap.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he did break his hand?
I thought his
Yeah.
hand was
Oh,
good.
I didn't know that was broken.
Well, it was fine. And then when the orthopedic surgeon went in to do the knee, they looked closer at the hand. And so fortunately his head, like, oh my gosh, he looked like he was in an accident. And, but his head cleared, like the
Was
little
it from the
bleeds.
airbag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
a
probably
very-
slamming. He had his glasses on, which we don't know where they're at, but he has this like gnarly gouge, like across his
Poor
nose.
Jeff.
That was so scary.
Yeah.
That was so scary.
So 2 days before that, I was in the hospital with my dad getting his pacemaker.
Yeah, it's been a,
So
it's been a rough
hospital
week.
And then Palm Springs had a shooting
What?
the night that we were there,
Oh,
and
yeah,
the whole
that's right.
hospital went on lockdown, and then there was like gangs outside. It was
scary.
quite an emotional weekend, but
Yes.
the good thing is pretty much everybody's
Everyone's
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yes. So
Yeah.
anyways, we are still in our series of interviewing our Bennies and families. And today was kind of funny because I was like, yeah, we're interviewing Shelby. Shelby's like, do you want Matt to come? I'm like, yeah, if he can come, let's do it. And so she's told me when she got here before Tracy and Rhonda, she's like, yeah, well, Matt's able to come. So he's on his way. And Tracy and Rhonda are like, hi, I don't know if I've actually met you. Hi. And so they're sitting there
so
going,
stupid.
No,
they're
I'm
going,
so sorry.
when was your year? And so Shelby's like, last year. And they're like, what? And then I said, it's Cameron's parents. They're like, oh, Cameron. Shelby's like, yeah. Nobody knows who we
Thought I
are.
was getting
Everyone knows who
dementia already.
Cameron is.
Yeah.
So welcome, Cameron's parents, Shelby and Matt.
Sorry, guys.
He's our little charmer. He,
So cute.
He had a fun year this year when he didn't even want to come, and he ended up stealing the show on the dance floor.
Oh my God. He was so cute on the dance floor. Oh,
So
I think you
cute.
told this story maybe on the podcast
I
when
think
we were
so.
recapping.
Yeah,
It was
I think so. Yeah, and he's just a little lover boy,
yes.
chick magnet. Did he take after you, Matt, when you were young?
Oh, no, that's not me. He is his own little
He's his own little thing. Well,
That's
good
too
for
cute.
him. All right. Well, we're going to let you guys tell us a little bit about Cameron and how he qualified to be a Charity for Charity beneficiary. So take it away, guys.
I'm gonna let you start.
Okay. Get close to that mic, Matt.
Where do we even start?
Matt. The pregnancy, I would say.
All right. Well, we were shocked and surprised to even find out that we had one on the way.
I had a pretty complicated medical history with PCOS and a lot of doctors saying that I couldn't get pregnant. And I had gone in, I was having ovarian cyst ruptures probably every 3 to 4 months. So I went in requesting an ultrasound to see, because I was fairly certain that I had another rupture. And they came back and said, oh, we can't do a ultrasound for about 6 weeks. I'm like, but they always do it stat. They're like, well, they don't usually do it till like the 8th or 9th week.
You're like,
8th or 9th week of
Were you
what?
together?
No,
Oh,
he was at work. I was in between,
Oh
like
my
on my lunch
gosh.
break, basically in the morning, like trying to get back to work, and they had said, "Well, you're pregnant."
Well, that's one way to find out.
Right. So it was pretty shocking. No big pregnancy reveal, because I called him immediately, like, "Hey, I don't know where you are or what you're doing, but we're having a baby." He's like, "Who's having a baby?"
So you didn't expect that was going to be possible for you guys?
No, I mean, we were barely married for 2 years, and we've been having the conversations like, hey, this might not be a thing for us, and that's okay. We're both very open to the ideas of foster and adoption down the line as we kind of figure everything out. And lo and
I
behold,
had just donated and given away to another young military family all of our baby stuff from my Hope Chest that I had been collecting probably like 2.5 weeks prior to that. So
That's what happens when you quit or give up.
Yes.
That's when it
I
happens.
agree.
the onesie left, and that was all I had.
That's hilarious. Should have got rid of it a long time before that. All right, Matt. So then,
I got that phone call. I was at work one day, kind of stopped and just took the wind out of me. Just so shocked and surprised and excited.
did you announce to everyone, I'm having a baby?
Oh yeah, right away.
That's so cute.
Right away. I had one of my friends standing right there next to me. I don't even think I made it through the phone call before I was telling people.
That's so cute.
Cute.
And that was, just a few weeks later, just kind of went in for the standard screening appointments. You know, most people go in at 15 weeks, find out, okay, cool, we're good. We don't have one of the major categories of birth defects coming on. And
We had been trying to get the military's approval to have a test. He had an older sister who passed of a certain
trisomy
diagnosis.
13.
Yeah, and so we were waiting to get the approval to have that done, and finally we had gotten one to approve it, and that was when it came back with the neural tube defect, and we were just kind of, what is that? What
How
does that
many
mean?
weeks into your pregnancy was that?
15? That was the 15 weeks.
14, 15.
Yeah.
You were 8 when you found out, right? 8 weeks?
No, I was 5.5.
Oh, 5.5
Yeah.
weeks. Oh, okay.
So the next few weeks of waiting, and then we got that test done. Okay, neural tube defect. So we're Googling like crazy as anybody would. And okay, there's about 3 or 4 conditions that fall into that family. There's spina bifida, and there's things like anencephaly, which is not compatible with life. And we don't know. And then I want to say 3 weeks later, about the 18-week mark, we find out that it's spina bifida. And
You were in Arizona
Yeah.
on a military pre-op, so I had to go. My mom, fortunately, came with me, but they had to do the amniocentesis.
Oh,
it's called,
amniocentesis.
Yeah.
Yes.
the check and everything, and that was where they could do on the ultrasound and stuff. They saw the hydrocephalus and Chiari-2 malformation, and the open of where his spinal area should be closed. His came out of his body, all of his nerves and spinal cord were in a like a sac outside the body.
You mentioned that he was doing stuff with the military, so we do want to honor that Matt serves our military. Thank you for your
Thank
service.
you.
Thank you so
Matt.
much for your service.
Thank you. Yeah, that was, I remember getting that phone call when I was in Yuma. I was still slated to go on a deployment, just a couple months away from it. I had just gotten back from one about,
7-8 months prior to
Yeah.
Gosh.
So found that out, and that's when kind of everything changed and everything kind of went into high gear. The next few weeks were very chaotic, and we found ourselves, before we knew it, in San Francisco to be
we
evaluated.
had 3 options.
Talk closer, Shel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, the 3
There you go.
options, we could carry to term, have the surgery immediately, like to close his spine immediately after birth, or we could terminate, which was their recommendation at the time, or the third option, which is what we went with. They said we could go through what's in utero fetal surgery. I had never heard of that, so as we're sitting here on our trusty Google Doc here trying to figure out what that all meant, I'll let you take, because you explain it so much better.
We've come to find out there's only 4 places in the country at the time. It's expanded a lot since then that did this procedure. Closest was up at UCSF. And so we found ourselves up there for an evaluation at 20 weeks. Make sure I got my timeline right.
21 for the evaluation, and then
21.
we flew back at 23 for the surgery. So it was like a 3 week. We had to.
Wow.
Yeah, and found out that we were candidates for the procedure.
Oh, gosh.
So we were up there for a grand total of 4 weeks, 3 weeks after the evaluation. 1 week was, the procedure was done. They opened Shelby up like a C-section, lifted his lower back, his behind out, opened him up, basically pushed the spinal cord back down, closed everything up using synthetic patching. And put him back in, and she stayed inpatient for a few days, I think just under a week.
That is a miracle.
It is.
Really?
Wow.
So were
Twice
you?
born is what they call
Yeah.
it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because to know that, like, they saw him, because I stayed pregnant another 13 weeks. So
I was
knowing, like, there was a whole
So
team.
some babies are born at that early, like a preemie, high risk, but preemie at that time, right? Like at
Yeah.
that maybe
Right.
first birth. So some babies do survive coming out at that point.
do.
Which is probably how they're able to do that and then put them back in.
They didn't rupture the sac or anything. Everything had to stay fit. They filled it with
I want to say
like
that
an IV solution,
Yeah.
essentially, is how they
Essentially,
explained it.
Oh.
But yeah, so they had done all of that, and it was another. I lost my train of
So we spent a total of 3 weeks, so a week for the procedure and then 2 more weeks so we could have regular follow-ups over there. We didn't know San Francisco at all, so we had to move hotels 3 different times.
Yeah.
We kept picking not great parts of town to
Oh
stay.
yeah, there's a lot of not great parts.
I remember our last 2 weeks were spent at a place across the bay in Oakland, and it was during the presidential midterms, and so
Oh, jeez.
I want to say Bernie Sanders was staying at our hotel. The hotel was shut down.
gosh.
There was the whole basketball
security
team that was there
envoys.
too.
Oh
And
my gosh.
a lot happening.
Very strange 4 weeks of our lives.
Yeah.
It was a whirlwind, but
I bet.
we eventually got the okay to fly home. So we flew home. We were living on base on Camp Pendleton at the time.
Which we had to come home and move houses because
Yeah.
with the diagnosis, I couldn't go up or downstairs. And then with Cameron, we knew he would be a wheelchair user, so they had to get us on one floor. So I can't move anything. I'm in, bed rest completely. So he
Jeez.
has to pack and move an entire house.
It was me and a buddy and a pickup
I was
truck and
going
a
to say,
trailer.
good buddy. I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time I,
wanna-
saw her lift a finger, it was no, lay back down. Lay back down.
Oh,
That's sweet.
I want to stop there and go back a little bit to your decision making.
Yes.
Yep.
Because listeners often don't get a chance. Well, they don't get a chance to ask on here, but like in life, you don't get the opportunity to ask. And so you were given 3 options. You were given 1 to terminate pregnancy, 2 to wait until he's born and take the risk of him surviving the birth and a surgery afterwards, or this one, which you felt was, well, you picked. And so I want to know, like, what your thought process in all of that decision making was.
Our,
Oh,
for me personally, not speaking for both of us, having those 3 options laid out in front of us, my vote was definitely for the in utero fetal surgery. It wasn't my body going through that, of course, so I had to keep that in mind. But in my mind, it's okay. He's got a longer time to develop in the womb with that myelomeningocele defect in his lower spine closed.
your
So
spinal cord and nerves exposure to all the amniotic fluid and everything. That's where a lot of the damage comes from. Because it
Oh,
So I think in both of our heads, after we did our research, it was if we could limit that, because they can't guarantee that you can make it to a full term. So
Right.
we didn't know we could have had the surgery at 23 weeks. He could have made it another 8 days and then been born at that point. So limiting that exposure to that was our biggest.
and just the understanding we developed of how the CSF is formed in the body and travels up and down the spinal cord, we knew that him staying in the womb and having that good flow of CSF and hydrocephalus being limited in its evolution would be best for him as opposed to the surgery after he was born, is the understanding we developed. For me, it wasn't a religious-based decision or anything, but just to me, the thought of terminating the pregnancy when we considered it, practically miraculous, for lack of a better term, that
Right.
this is the hand we were dealt,
Yeah.
then it's for a reason. When we're here and we're together, and every step of the way, we're going to figure it out together. We didn't know, the series of hurdles that lied ahead of us, but we were
That was my next question. Did you know?
prepared to kind of make that commitment.
Yeah.
Right.
We knew to some extent some of what we've experienced the last 10 years would be in our cards, but not to the extent of which they have been.
Yeah.
10 surgeries in 10 short years is not at all what we had on our bigger cards.
Yeah. And seeing your son go through all that, but I can't even imagine him not existing.
right.
Like he's
Right.
just such a light to the world. And
And I think that was kind of a deciding factor too, of no matter what condition or quality of life, we were going to make it the best we could. Whatever he was
And you guys do a great job of it.
Yes.
Thank
You said you had a C-section. Is that right?
I did.
Okay.
So at the 23 weeks was when the surgery happened. The day after our baby shower, I started having some issues, and every Tuesday I had to go to the hospital to get checked out. So at that appointment with the ultrasound and everything, they said, I hope you brought a hospital bag, and you're going to be staying here for the next till the rest of your pregnancy. So that was at 30 weeks. We could have potentially had 10 more weeks. So I stayed in the antepartum ward for about 5.5 weeks.
51 days.
51 days.
Oh my gosh.
Dang, that's long.
A lot of seasons of Grey's Anatomy were watched.
Yeah. You're like, I'm living it.
So were you awake the first C-section? Because I know you had one the first time.
It was a procedure on her and a procedure on him at the same
So we
time.
were
It was
both
two
out.
Okay.
OR teams.
That's what I was wondering about.
So
Oh, it's
And this-
2 OR team?
Yeah.
one for her, one for him.
Then the second one, you were asleep though, right? Or you were awake?
The second one, I was awake for
okay.
the regular C-section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Foggy but awake.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you in there?
Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
there.
Finally.
So was the C-section, when he came out, did you see his scar? Like it was a scar at that
Yeah,
point?
we could see the scar.
Completely healed, mind you. Not a lot of spina bifida kiddos have that. A lot of times you're still dealing with wound care.
Oh.
And so for us,
Wow.
I could have swore they switched babies had it not been for that, because they told us when he would come out, he'd be about 4 pounds. He came out 7 pounds, 13 ounces,
Oh my
5.5 weeks early.
Wow.
Oh, that would have been a painful full term.
He was a big baby.
He was. So all of our preemie
Full
clothes that we
term.
were ready for.
No, that didn't work.
Awesome.
So he was born with 5 out of 9 APGAR scores, the grade they usually give babies when they're born. He had a pneumothorax on his left side, so that lung was deflated. So they had to do needle decompression a couple times, intubation twice, push surfactant to prevent infection. His legs, of course, were immobile based on the spina bifida, but it was a scary first little bit. I mean, I was able to cut the cord and everything.
Yeah,
but
Matt
then-
could just see him. It was about 12 hours before they would let me go down to the NICU.
So they had to take him right into a procedure room and work on getting his lung working. And we were then 21 days in the NICU at Balboa, at the Naval Hospital in San Diego, staying in their Fisher house, similar to Ronald McDonald House, which is
very nice.
fantastic, by the way.
So you gave birth on base?
At Balboa, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So we stayed there. He had some feeding difficulties and still recovering from that pneumothorax, that lung that wasn't filling correctly on his left side. So it was about 3 weeks there before we got to take him home. But it was trading off between a NICU and staying in the Fisher house and back and forth
And her needing care and him needing care.
all through this. I was splitting days, half a day at work, then get down to the hospital, then sleep down there, then get back to work for a little bit.
Oh my
It was
He's been burning the candle at both ends. It's
Forever.
a long time.
Since then.
for about 10 years now.
Yeah. Since then. And what's your, I don't know what you say. What do you say? Like, what's your job?
So my job is I'm an independent duty corpsman. So I was a corpsman, a medic, essentially, and then went to an extra 13 months of school to be an unlicensed provider that can only work on active duty military. So I can diagnose, treat, prescribe, just as long as you're active duty or an active reservist.
Wow.
So did that help you in all this caretaking and knowledge and stuff?
I went through that school about 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
But the foundation was definitely there to get my foot in the door with at least some of what was being said to us in these
Okay.
appointments, and try and do as much as I could to be the buffer between and see both points of view with such a complicated case. I feel like some doctors are built for it and have the empathy bone, and some don't. So when you have the doctors that don't, and they're very plain spoken and direct.
I'm still waiting for his paycheck. The
Yeah.
one who bet me his paycheck that Cameron wouldn't leave the NICU without a.
so a doctor
I
said
cannot even
that.
believe that
How
a
negative.
professional would speak that way.
I know.
To a
Yeah, he
patient,
said
not
that he
a-
wouldn't
it's
leave
not
without
right?
Daily
That's
catheters.
disgusting.
straight catheting, and we
Straight
made it to almost age 7 without having to cath.
I would send him a picture every year.
so
Every
wrong.
year, a Christmas card. Here he is. Here he is.
Crazy.
Here he is.
Well, the most important
Man.
part of that story is that you were
made it
right.
right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, not as a woman you were right, but like that your child was
Yeah.
right.
good. And then the doctor was wrong. I love that. I mean,
too.
no. we often talk about self-advocating and certain things here, but we always give grace to the doctors because they do the best they can, most of them, and they only know what they know and, all the things. But when they cross the line and then bet their paycheck that your kid's not going to...
Yeah,
It's like betting against you.
What is that?
I don't know.
But for every not so great one, there's a great
There's,
one.
Yes.
Oh, there's a million. Yeah, there's a
Dr.
lot
Clue
of
that
great
we had when we were
He
in the
was
NICU.
wonderful,
Our
neurosurgeon.
neurosurgeon was, oh man, an amazing person.
Oh, cool.
Both personally and as a physician. Just
Oh, awesome.
he did so much for us in those first few weeks.
A lot of doctors, I feel like, just follow the textbook.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've met a few that have definitely cheated their way through med school. But
That's a good way to put it.
Dr. Clue was like, no matter what I would have done, because a lot of times with spina bifida, it's caused by a lack of folic acid or a deficiency of the folic acid in the mom. So, and I had just started like a big workout routine. And so I was really, to this day, I still blame myself for it. But as Dr. Clue said, no matter whether I was taking the multivitamin or not, or taking straight folic acid, my body wouldn't have processed it the way that it needed to. And so it's just doctors like him that really help,
Instead of saying, yeah, you really shouldn't have done that.
or he's not going to have zero quality of life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the last gala shows that absolutely he did.
I know. And it doesn't mean he has an easy road, nor do you guys, but he is a beautiful child.
He is.
Such a great, he's like a little man.
He is.
It's the right family. Matt's, you were asking about Matt's background in medical. I was a former elementary school teacher. Matt's mom was a speech pathologist. My mom was director.
He picked the right family.
Yeah, director of special education. So my mom navigated all of, our IEPs and stuff with us. So he's definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He or
He's
God
happy.
picked the right family.
So a couple years prior, I was working with some of the military families, and one of the little girls actually had spina bifida that I cared for. Her parents would go to the church service, so I would do in the daycare with her. And I think, that experience, she was just...
This was before Cameron?
This was before camp.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of like my experience. Like I knew a little bit about it. And then oddly, coincidentally enough, my ex-fiance had a niece with spina bifida. And so to this day, sister-in-law, her sister, his sister and I still connect. And so we kind of, she can help walk me through some of it. So I feel like, God definitely knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
He knew who I needed
Yeah.
and what kind of people Cam would need in his life.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to ask, that triggered something and then I lost it.
Sorry.
That's no. That's a beautiful thing. And when you look at that and you go like, so many people, did you guys ever ask why that happened?
Pretty sure I did last week.
Yeah.
You often do.
Yeah. You can't help but do that.
Yeah.
And you feel like, and then you have a circumstance that you're like, okay, maybe this is why. And then another, and then you get discouraged again, and then you have another. So I'm sure, and that happens to every single person we've talked to in here.
Right.
Why me, or why them, or why my kid, or why my parent, or whatever. Okay, so then you brought your baby home, and you've had doctor's appointments.
He hit the ground running. He started PT and OT at 6 months old. So where a lot of parents got to do my gym and, park days, we spent a lot of his early years in therapy. We grew up. He grew up around a lot of other kiddos.
He doesn't know another
He
way of
doesn't.
life. I mean, he sees other ways of life, but for him, it's the norm. Mm-hmm. And how does he take all that in?
He's definitely had those why me moments.
Yeah.
As he's gotten older, they've definitely been there.
Yeah.
He struggles a lot with anxiety and depression and kind of that traumatic, every hospital stay, every ailment, Like just this weekend, he had to miss his best friend's birthday party because he was admitted last week and he's just not up to himself. And he doesn't understand, why is he the one that has to miss birthday parties or can't, run around and do certain things like other kiddos, but...
Also shows up in little obsessive behaviors, things like time. always need to know what time it is.
Oh, okay.
And on one hand, that's, just how he is and how he processes things. And on the other hand, I kind of think that's his attempt to control or knowing what's going on around him, because so much of it is just he's not able to manage his own time.
Right.
Because of the things that he has to go through. So I think it's a blend of a couple things, but we've definitely seen it in the forms of the anxiety, the obsessive behaviors.
But then we see other times, he was admitted. We were getting ready to go visit Lily, and 20 minutes before we were supposed to go, he gets admitted into the hospital. So he's like, you know what? I'm not happy that I have to be admitted. I'm closer to Lily, and Lily has been in here a lot longer than I have. So he does have that ability, even at 9, to my mountain or my molehill is really somebody else's mountain, or so to speak. So he's learned at a young age to try to decipher that and work through that.
That's big. Does he go to therapy, or does he?
So he was doing once a week through his homeschool program. But then when she went out on maternity leave, and so we haven't resumed that, but we are going to be.
Yeah, I would say that's critical. I mean, we all need it, but I'm getting it. I'm very proud of it. It's helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that helps you to process and get you out of those. I mean, I don't deal with depression per se, but I could see how him with his limitations and the things that are getting robbed of him at his age, that can make you pretty depressed. I get that. So yeah, just staying ahead of that for him would be critical for sure. And what about you guys? And that's like, really? Is this what I signed up for?
What about you?
What about you guys?
Honestly, it's one of those like barely have time to take care of yourself kind of things. If I don't have time to go see go see him for my back, I don't have time to see him for anything else.
And basically, I was supposed to have a procedure last week and 2 appointments on Friday I had to cancel. So it's like you just kind of get used to, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Later on, I'll see somebody. But I think my kind of talk therapy is through friends or other parents that are in similar situations with medically complex kiddos.
Fortunately you have that community.
We've met quite a few, because it's not just spina bifida for him. He has 18 different diagnoses, I think we're up to.
That are or aren't related. I can hear people questioning that.
Yes.
Some are
secondarily related.
Yeah.
Okay, so not a direct relation, but because
so
of
the hydrocephalus and the Chiari malformation, that comes along with your spina bifida. He does have another rare, we just found out, mutation.
Chung-Jansen syndrome.
Which is something called Chung-Jansen syndrome. And then he's got his ADHD and his motor tic disorder, and he has absent seizures, and he has autism level 1, we just found out a couple weeks ago. So a lot of these things, I think, for so long had just been, he's got spina bifida. This is an umbrella that covers all of this. But the more that you kind of separate, we are finding some are related, some are not related.
Well, we didn't even touch on you and your medical stuff. So outside of Cameron's medical stuff and Matt's working full time and Shelby taking care of everyone in the world, she also has her own medical stuff she deals with. So yeah, you're an incredible person, how you navigate this little life here.
Well, in 2019, Matt's mom retired and moved out from Kentucky and moved in with us at that time. And for 5 years, she was the soundboard waiting, at the therapy offices with me, or, sweeping so I didn't have to do it when I came home. And so she was monumental in, I think, us getting through that. All of our parents were in some form or another. But when Matt's mom got sick in 2024, that hit hard, because on top of Cameron and mine and then his mom, it was kind of a lot.
We were on the cusp of a brain surgery and a bowel surgery for Cameron. And my mom on Valentine's Day of 2024 was so she was taking Cameron to an appointment.
Yeah.
And just as normal, she was just driving her van a few miles down the road. She went to pull into the parking spot, and she hit the physical therapist truck. Just the tire, but dented in the front bumper to our van. And when she came home, she was just very oh, well, I guess I better show you this, and just very dismissive, laissez-faire about it, just very strange.
She had gotten lost going to DMV to renew her license like 2 days prior.
We
And
were
we didn't
starting
really
to get
understand.
worried.
Yeah.
And so we took her to the ER last night, and she had a golf ball-sized glioblastoma.
This was in 2024. Like,
Not
it
last
wasn't
night. It was the night before. Yeah, the
Yeah.
next
Sorry,
night or whatever.
Sorry, the night that it happened,
Yeah.
her behaviors were so strange that we took her in.
Wow.
Valentine's Day of 2024 and got that diagnosis in the ER. And so then we entered the decision-making process of, do we go through the very taxing, very monumental treatment, losing your quality of life to buy a few more months of low quality of life time, or do we enjoy what time is left? Took a lot of time.
How old was she at that
What a
point?
decision.
72.
72.
Oh, she was pretty young.
Yeah, that is young.
We always told her the McDonald's would be what got her, and we were wrong. It's okay. She had a sense of humor. A very good sense of humor.
Her best friend works at McDonald's.
But she was just always very quiet, just always constantly reading, and just had her little habits that she would go about.
A week before all of this happened with his mom, we moved his dad in with us out from Indiana because he has his own
Matt's.
medical history. So we had both parents living with us.
But they weren't married
They
anymore.
were not married.
They weren't
You
married.
guys are
That's
angels.
interesting. Yeah, you guys are angels.
You guys are complete angels.
That was a whole other complicated situation.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when you hear all the things, it's like, how do you guys
a
do
couple
this?
months that they're supposed to stay with us for 3 months. He just moved out last week after 2 years. So
I didn't know
it's
that.
been a very long.
Because your mom passed away.
10 weeks after the diagnosis.
10 weeks?
Yeah.
So
it was
sad. I'm sorry.
The first
Gosh,
5
I'm
weeks
so sorry.
we probably had about 75% of her for the first 5 weeks. And then the next 5 weeks, we just kind of watched it dip. And it
kind
was,
of a regression and kind of
Yeah.
almost like she reverted to a teenager, arguing about snacks in the kitchen at 11:30 at night. Like,
Yeah.
I want the Fritos. Fritos. Take your medicine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so then you guys were taking care of
Wow.
it
her
was,
and Cameron.
It was this one
And-
next to
yeah.
me. It was, I would, I cannot tell you all how highly I think of Shelby as a person. Not just, my wife, Cameron's mom, just as a person, for the way she looked at mom.
I know. We're all crying.
She's in here?
It's,
We do.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I'm in awe. She would be, I'm going to drag a mattress downstairs and sleep outside of her room. I don't have to, but that's what I'm going to do. I don't know, and I don't even remember the timeline, but I think it was, Mom passed on April 24th of 2024, and Cameron had a surgery 4 weeks later.
It wasn't even that long. It was the first, May 7th. You were in Kentucky for the celebration of life, and I was flying solo for this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I got home and caught up, so I went home and we had a great celebration of life for my mom. That meant that we had to divide and conquer a little bit. So I came back and caught up with him after that surgery, and just a few months later, he had his ACE procedure.
Well, and this whole time, you're still working. Keeping keeping the family afloat financially.
Keeping the
Yeah.
lights on. Yeah.
I've been fortunate this past command that I've been at where they won't charge me my leave days when Cameron's in the hospital. They'll place me on
He would have been out
temporary
years ago.
duty.
There's-
Wow.
That's a blessing.
And your
Nice.
temporary orders in your workplace is home.
So for fetal surgery, his whole job in the military was written as covering my medical. So they covered all of our flights. They covered the entire. He was $1 million baby before he was born. We paid $456 for Uber fares that whole time we were there.
Oh my gosh, that gave me chills.
That's amazing.
It's
Yeah,
good to
it
hear
was-
that they do kick
You
in.
kind of
Love
hear
that.
Sometimes,
good
yeah.
things and bad things about him, and we were very fortunate.
That was a
for
good
that.
thing. Good. That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
that's amazing.
Wow. So then, was Dad living with you when Mom died?
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. All
He
right.
moved in
Yeah.
January 23rd of that year, and when she passed,
Yeah.
April.
I was just a very strange.
Yeah, how was that for you, Matt? Your divorced parents living with you? Interesting.
The past 15 years of my life playing monkey in the middle.
Yeah.
As, you know, the only person still talking with him and still having my relationship with everyone else. And
Yeah.
not trying to heal old wounds, but giving people the tools they need to rebuild bridges should they want to.
Yeah.
Was always my goal, and some did, some did not. That's their own decisions. I just tried to help give people the tools they needed if they wanted to.
Sounds like you're both pretty incredible.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree.
God had a whole design for this when you met.
Yeah.
Put two incredible humans together. So now what's life like with Kim?
I don't know. On one hand, I want to say we're always waiting on the next thing. We're
Yeah.
always waiting on the shoe
We
to
are
drop.
always
we're kind of
on-
always on guard a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
But then again, last year in November, I'm like, wow, we're going into 2026 and we have nothing on the schedule. And 10 days later, we have 3 surgeries for 2026 on the docket. So you just kind of
You roll
you
with
think
it.
that
You
they
just roll.
don't say it out loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, it's always been when it rains, it pours kind of thing.
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
I mean, he had his first spinal cord detethering at Loma Linda in 2019, 2020.
2022.
I was close.
How do you guys remember all
I
this?
know.
Yeah.
You guys are good with
Can't
dates.
tell you if I ate breakfast.
But so because of his original in utero surgery, he had scar tissue inside of his spine. And so as he grows, the spinal cord is kind of adhered to by the scar tissue and it starts stretching. And he started getting really bad back pain. But really what told us is like he would start to regress. So we normally can't feel below his knees, and that line was kind of climbing up. We had some other tells, his
Well, it was like
emotionality.
mid-calf before. And then at the time, right before the first spinal detethering, it was up to his knees. And he was like leaking in between catheters and different things like that that were just
so a
not...
lot of tells.
Yeah.
And so we went in, we were getting assumed with Loma Linda for everything at that point. And we drove up for a spinal cord detethering surgery, and we knew we were going to be in there for a few days. And we're sitting there in the waiting room, waiting for him up there. We know it's going to be a several-hour-long procedure. And somebody decides to start having kidney stone issues.
Somebody does.
I ended up in the ER.
So,
Oh my gosh.
So she had to go to the ER. Her mom went with her. I stayed with Cameron. Her mom got her home. Of course, she's, as any mother or any parent would be, a giant ball of anxiety of like, I don't want to be
Yes,
going
for sure.
through this. It's not about me right now.
I'm fine.
But
They're
it
just
had
stones.
to be like, we couldn't have her in the hospital room going through kidney stone issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were only 3 days inpatient in a very tight, cramped, shared room before they sent us home. Us kind of feeling in our gut, it was a little bit
Low grade
fast.
temperature. Are you sure? It's right before Christmas. Everybody
Yeah.
was taking leave. All the doctor straight up said, "Hey, I'm leaving in 6 hours for Arizona, so I'll have my colleague meet with you guys afterwards instead of us discussing." And we were kind of like, "Okay, happy holidays."
They discharged us, and okay, that's a little alarming, but here's your instructions. Here's what to watch out for. And so we were watching. So he had his incision in his back, right? And if
And he
you
got
remember,
sent home with that PICC line.
that was
That was a separate one.
that was
Okay,
after.
maybe I don't. Okay.
So he got sent home, and it was just okay. Monitor the incision site, which is a pretty long incision on a little guy. It was probably 4 or 5 inches long.
Wow.
And I started to notice, I can't tell if that's Neosporin or if that's CSF coming out of the site.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
We call Loma Linda just to let them know. They
Yeah.
said, "Oh, it's fine. Just monitor. See if you put a new gauze. See how quickly it saturates." Finally, the second day after that, I'm like, "Matt, this is getting worse. Something is wrong." So we called again down to with triage or whoever it was we talked to. Said, "Hey, we're bringing him in. It's not a question now. We're on our way."
So,
Matt
call me
picks him up.
crazy, but I was always taught in military teacher see this combat medicine class, hey, if you ever think that something is cerebrospinal fluid, it tastes sweet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Did you taste it?
Yeah.
Was it sweet?
Yes.
Yes.
So I picked him up. We're going out to get in a van, and all the CSF is
Literally.
Down right there.
It
So
was
that
like-
was his spinal fluid
Yeah,
coming
it was,
out?
it was
Everything.
weeping out of the incision.
Oh, my
so
gosh.
all of the CSF in his body came out of his
As soon
incision.
as he was upright right in front of the van, it was like
Got
my
my
water had
shirts.
broken in the driveway. That much of his CSF had come out.
Like somebody just dumped a cup of water.
What the heck? How did that happen?
So We go racing up. We're on the phone with the ER, driving up the 15, dealing with traffic to get up to Loma Linda. It takes us a good hour. We have pressure on his back.
You're talking about the main campus in Loma Linda?
Yeah. Keeping pressure on his back. He's going in and out of consciousness as we're doing it.
Oh my God,
wondering
how
if we
scary.
should stop and call for an ambulance to meet us, but we're already moving at that point, so no point in stopping if we're moving.
Yeah.
So we get up there, they meet us in the parking lot with a gurney, get him inside. They reinforce the sutures to try and close it up. By that point, it was too late. Bacterial meningitis had set in, so we're getting admitted upstairs.
He
He's
became
got
sepsis.
106, 107 fevers for 3 days. We're packing ice around him,
Oh my
pushing every
gosh.
antibiotic known to
Oh my
modern
God, I just
medicine.
want to hug you guys.
I know, that's like,
They admitted us up to the
scary.
PICU at Loma Linda, and it was we stayed there for a month. I remember we spent Christmas there, so we're watching the parade from the hospital window.
Santa came in and
What year was this?
2022.
Oh, okay.
But during that time, we had to control the pressure down here, they had to reduce the pressure where CSF is produced. So
That's why I was
they
wondering
had-
how he had brain surgery.
So he
That's-
didn't have a shunt at that time. They had to drill through his skull and put an external valve. So the head of his bed could only be at a certain angle, along with the actual drain. So that was basically manually controlling pressures. That was several weeks of laying there, but he had to be awake while they drilled through his skull. I kind of knew that, so I had Shelby leave for that one.
I was going to say, did you stay in there though?
I held him down. I kind of talked him through it as they were doing it.
And he's how old at that point? 8? No.
No.
No, he was younger, yeah.
2022, yeah. He turns 10
Math
this year.
says
So he was
6.
6.
Yeah.
6.
Sorry, that took me a minute.
6 years old.
He was 6 at that time. They put the valve in place. We were doing Elf on a Shelf. The hospital room, had him hanging off IV lines.
Nurses
and everything
loved
else.
it.
Yeah. So we had a whole thing going. We were both sleeping in the room, I think.
In a chair, probably
time,
bigger than that was.
We had one that lay down, one that didn't lay down, so we would sleep in
Oh my
shifts.
gosh.
It was a long month.
Yeah.
And they sent us home. He had the PIC line in after that.
Did he get
Still.
home care during any of this? Like, did they send
No,
people
they
to
sent us home.
We were home care.
Yeah. So I took care of his PIC line. We had a nurse that would come by once every day or every other
He did
day
have that, yeah.
to change out some of the tubing.
Oh,
But
okay.
otherwise, we were administering the medications through it and doing
You say
care.
we, that was all you.
Yeah.
Thank God for your medical experience. It probably
Yeah.
was really helpful at
Well,
this point.
And the fact that you were comfortable. Like,
And
not
calm.
everyone's
And
comfortable
calm.
doing that.
yeah.
Well, at that point, I was on a destroyer as the sole medical provider with 2 junior corpsmen working for me, and we were supposed to deploy on January 5th.
Oh, gosh.
So another,
So I had spent the last year of my life working probably 12-hour days in San Diego, commuting to Murrieta back and forth every day. I was kind of a shell of myself at that point, and she could see it. And I was just so overworked that even when I was away from work, my phone was still ringing about work, and I was practically useless to her because my head just wasn't there. And then like everything came to a screeching halt. Fortunately, work-wise, they got me replaced. I went off those onto something called humanitarian orders, where I just worked at a hospital for the next year.
Oh, gosh.
but-
So you're basically a doctor without without having the outside
it's like a nurse practitioner,
I'm
isn't
a
it?
less,
Oh, yeah,
I'm a
was it-
less trained, more expendable PA.
Okay.
So cheaper to make. They send us everywhere. We're undermanned, so we're overworked.
Got it.
I have IDCs that work for me that will spend 3 years at one command and be deployed for 2 of them.
Okay.
Totally gone.
So you know a lot more. You probably know more than that qualified you for. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So not.
Like you're like forced to figure more out than you're taught, maybe?
We're very see one, do one, teach one.
Okay, yeah.
So we learn our baseline in school and then kind of figure out more as you go.
Okay, yeah,
With a
that's-
physician, you work under their license, but sometimes you're 5,000 miles away from them.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So you're doing the stuff of.
Yes.
I get it.
Yep.
I
And
get that
when
we probably can't say it.
When you reach capacity, you evacuate them.
Okay.
It is kind of how it goes. And you
Okay.
treat the stuff to sustain people. But that's been the foundation for a lot of what I'm able to get through. And then I try and play the buffer for us. But we're pretty even level when it comes to Cameron. We both know
Yeah.
the ins and outs of the Spina Bifida world at this point pretty darn well.
Yeah.
That was one of the tougher stays, the tougher periods of time for us with what, I had looming over and everything we were dealing with him. It was truly a touch and go moment. And, after his fever broke, after bacterial meningitis broke, and we got through that, then we got him home and he started having C. diff.
Which, from all the antibiotics that they had him on, then it
Killed
becomes
all the good
this whole
bacteria.
new.
Yeah, so if you've ever encountered it before, you will never forget it. It is a smell and
Poor
an experience
baby.
unlike any other.
Yeah.
The
So
antibiotics have killed off all the good bacteria in your gut, and you only got the really bad stuff left your body's trying to get out. And it's, with him having a neurogenic bowel, he didn't have the flush system that we have now, so it was pretty unpredictable. And so it would just be diaper
Inside.
changes when he's still
Growing.
recovering from a back surgery. We're having to keep infectious diarrhea away from a fresh back incision.
Oh my
gosh.
And then at that point, we were trying to deal with that from home with the GI department at Loma Linda. And, for lack of a better pun, it seemed like they didn't give a crap.
That's a good way to say it.
That was our inciting event to transfer all of his care to Rady's. Since we've been with Rady's, I couldn't tell you enough good things about the people that work there. They're just the
That's good
most
to hear.
fantastic group at this children's hospital. They're dedicated to helping kids.
It was
Love
almost
that.
like with Loma Linda. They were a pediatric unit, but they were still trained to work with adults. And then with Rady's, it's like
You get an MRI and there's music and stickers and pictures.
Yeah, they get
everybody
it.
just seems like that's what their whole sole purpose on this planet is to
Yeah.
make and help kids get through these major medical challenges.
Down to the support staff that drops off food, that cleans the room, just the best group of people. We've had the
I
greatest
should have recorded
experiences
all
there.
that.
I know,
Shout
that
out
was a
Rady's.
good one.
I
Yeah.
ended on Loma Linda. Didn't give a crap.
I would do that Rady's commercial for free anytime.
Okay, let's do it again, Matt.
But it's that was probably the toughest. I don't know if you could even really rank these experiences, but given the way it went, getting sent home early, getting back, getting home with a big line after the traumatic stuff that happened while we were there, that was one of the tougher times. in this
It was a
whole-
lot of, so it was like that Halloween, he was inpatient. We had to isolate in preparation for the December surgery. He was inpatient for Christmas. And then the following year, it was like another Halloween, he was inpatient. Trick or treat, watching, the dogs come around in costumes. And so, it's a lot for him.
Yeah.
This little- So as we just kind of make the most of it, and I think definitely our community, our support system has made it amazing too.
Doable.
It's not just him and I, getting
Makes
through
it
this. Like
doable, yeah.
we've got a Miss Debbie, and we've got parents
Yeah.
who,
Yeah.
my mom used to in a heartbeat be able to just drop everything and show up for me, or be the person making sure we had food to eat and different things like that.
Got my sister and her family just an hour away.
Yeah, my brother, and
Yeah.
we have a huge.
Try.
Cameron knew what he was doing and who he was picking and which family. He's
That's
like,
nice that you
"Yeah,
have
I
so
want
much
that
family.
one."
Yeah.
So now tell us about becoming a part of the Charity for Charity family. Do you
got
know-
the origin story on that one.
So I had heard about Charity for Charity through a friend of ours who had gone to a couple of galas and the Way Out West, and they knew Lily. They were friends of Lily's and Ashley's, and I looked at the fundraisers, and you guys were just such a fun, quirky group. Like, no matter what I saw, it was just happiness and joy, and so I had gotten an email, and that was when you had said he'd gotten selected. I didn't even know he was nominated.
Oh, you didn't?
I had no idea anybody had nominated us.
Who nominated you?
I think it was Tori, a friend of Ashley's.
Oh.
I'm not quite sure who.
Oh, okay, got it. I think so.
I don't know exactly
I
who
don't
threw
remember.
Cameron's name in.
But I kind of remember it was through Ashley. The person knew Ashley.
Yeah, I think that's who it had come from. And
AC Pro.
Oh, okay. Okay.
it's been life-changing. We thought it was just, a night to remember, and you guys were going to, shower us with support and love and give us a night out, essentially. And then it was just, we did the intake interview, and we were literally, like you mentioned pizza, and within an hour and a half, you had sent Cameron over to Spontino's, and he had a French fry pizza. He's like, this family's great. Yes, he's charity then.
I was much more standoffish at first.
He doesn't like to accept help a lot of times, or
the first person I met really was one of the first people I met was Ramon. And he's retired from the exact same job that I do.
I didn't realize
so they hit it
that.
off real quick.
That was meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, and again, like you were saying earlier, I feel like things kind of align the way that they are meant to or need to.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you would have been as willing to go through this last year with us at Charity for Charity if Ramon hadn't been that
At
kind
what
of
point did you meet him?
I'm trying to remember the first. I think he reached out over the phone first.
Oh.
It was either that or I think he Facebook messaged you, said,
Yeah.
hey.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He sent me a Facebook message.
About the tour? Was it about the...
Yeah, it was before our initial meetup.
Yeah, okay.
He had reached out and said, hey, if you're going through anything like I did, which I, bet that you are, it's okay to accept help when it's being offered.
It was before the call.
my
You hadn't even
gosh.
granted Cameron's wishes at this point.
Yeah.
So it was well before that. I think after you did like the introducing the Benis for the year, I think he had seen
You know what it
something.
was? Cameron wanted to go on the Midway,
Uh-huh.
a tour of the Midway or whatever.
He liked boats or ships or something.
Yeah.
He
Or
told
or maybe
you.
something. He
Yeah.
told us something, and
I
we
was
were
on
like,
the ship at the time.
yeah.
I was working, and so
And we told Ramon, and Ramon said, well, do you want me to call the dad and
that
make a
would've been-
connections? And so I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. How little did I know it was necessary.
Right. It's probably exactly what you needed to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a very small community, the job that we have and he had in the Navy. So it's, only 900 of us at any given time.
Well, that's
wild.
So we can play a 1 degree of separation pretty easily.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
retired a few years ago. But that instantly kind of helped me drop my guard a little bit. And then after, getting to know everybody, we're up on stage at the gala. I look out in the audience, and one of my instructors from going through school was out in the audience.
No way. I didn't know that.
And I didn't see him at this year's, and I hadn't talked to him since. I didn't talk to him before for a few years. It was just,
Wow.
this is
Like a little
Strange.
angel placement.
It was your year.
I love that.
the width and breadth of this community is
Yeah.
shrinking a little bit now that I'm seeing some familiar faces. That helped me with, over time, dropping my guard a little bit and
Yeah.
being a little bit less standoffish and quiet.
Yeah, because I felt that.
Yeah. That's my natural aura. I have one tone of voice. I have no emotion, so she can have all the emotions.
Oh, is that why? So nice
If
of you.
we
You're
both had
such a giver.
emotions, I don't think this would have worked. One of us has to be calm. It's almost
Yeah.
like I shared last week on Facebook. It's you can put us in like the biggest, most catastrophic event, and we are cool as cucumbers. But the mail doesn't get delivered at 2:12 like it's supposed to, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Where's the mail?"
That's where it comes out.
Yeah,
It comes
that's
out in
because
those ways.
It's like I can't
Yeah.
control certain situations. Almost like
Yeah.
you were saying, I feel like I've got some.
This is just my baseline all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how chaotic. That's just how I am, which is sometimes also a curse because it can give you the
Yeah.
impression that I don't take something seriously or don't consider something with the same weight or gravity that you might.
Oh,
be,
I didn't.
but
I thought you took everything serious, actually. It was not until we broke through a little bit that I was like, oh, well, because we encounter all different personalities. I mean, not everyone, there's a lot of people, believe it or not, that are a little more intimidated by what's going on with us. And some people don't trust it. Like, what are you all about? And we come on strong. I know, it's like, hi. And not everyone's
I
huggy.
think if you guys didn't, I think that's what we needed. Because at the very first event, the Thanksgiving, Cameron was getting ready to have a surgery the week before Thanksgiving. I had no idea where Thanksgiving dinner was going to come from. And here you guys come out at this thing Logan's running around with Cameron.
That's what I remember.
And
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
I'm in like just bawling because it's a turkey. It's a butterball turkey.
Everything you need.
That's right.
It was just right here. It fell. It came. It didn't fall because you guys made it happen, but it was just
Like
things
you
that
kn-
we wouldn't have asked for.
Right. Yeah.
And I think because even through it all, we try to help everybody. We try to make sure everybody has what they need. And being on this side of it, it's almost like I failed. I can't keep myself going, but almost like when my cup is empty, it gets filled by doing acts of service and things for
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
Even if I don't have the capacity to do that.
Right.
It just happens. Just,
That's what fills your cup. But God's in control of everything, and He knows what we need when we don't even know it.
like
So
Sting.
yeah, like Sting. So yeah, that's what I would say. So you guys come to Stars. Was Cameron nervous about it? I think I remember he was nervous.
He was really nervous. I think he wanted to do more talking than he actually did. He gets really sensitive around like lights and noises and things like that. So he kind of shut down, I think, like as soon as the noise of the ramp as he was going out kind of triggered him a little bit. And then that bright light on stage, but he was...
Well, and then like all the attention and he got like emotionally overwhelmed for a minute. But then he got so excited. Like it was fun to see the excitement, the things that came to him that he was like, oh, and then it was fine. But you guys, what was that like on stage for you guys? Because you guys didn't have a lot of expectations in the sense that you weren't expecting a million things, So, but then we had some fun stuff planned.
I don't even own a suit, and I was showing up to a gala.
Well, you got to go get a tux fitted.
Well, and I
Right?
think that was the part that out of all of this, it wasn't going to Cincinnati. It was those moments with you guys and moments just dress shopping. And I own leggings. I didn't own any hairspray. I don't go anywhere to need hairspray. But it was just all of the camaraderie and community around it. That
Bringing you in, yeah.
Yeah, so getting up there, I felt a little more comfortable than
You seemed,
I would be.
you guys did. You guys did good. You seemed comfortable, even you. I'm looking at Matt. Well, because you weren't at everything that she was, right? Before
I wasn't
you
at
were
some
not
of the smaller
Thanksgiving.
meetings.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So some of those breakthrough moments you didn't get with us as much.
Yeah.
But since then, I'd say you've broken through a lot, haven't you? And you did a great job because this year you had to give your testimonial and Shelby forgot her glasses. So Matt had to read it and you were hilarious because he read it in first person.
I wrote it.
Did you forget your glasses on purpose?
It didn't match with my dress.
Oh, there you go. I like
And
that.
you didn't think
trick.
about having to read it.
So good. I didn't want to hide it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
At that point, I knew I had to do something to bug her.
It was awesome though. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you guys have got with Cameron. Cameron's wish fulfillments, I guess you'd say.
I mean, right off the bat, it was him getting to meet his favorite wrestler.
Yes.
Before even the gala had happened.
Yeah, because we had to
Oh, that's right.
one connection to the next, and we found out that he was going to be in town. So remember, I called you guys. I'm like, can you get in the car and get to... Was it the same day?
I think it was the day
before.
Morning of.
It was the morning
You
of?
get in the car. I'm like, he had just had 104 temperature 3 days prior. Like, are we really taking him out? We're past that exposure point. But for Sting,
Yeah, he
gonna
was.
do
What
it.
city was he in? Pomona or
No, it was closer to LA.
Yeah, LA
Yeah, it's
somewhere.
like close to LA? So I called them. I'm like, Sting invited you guys to and can you get there? And they're like, yeah. So
I had
Cameron
no
didn't
idea.
know. Yeah, he had no idea.
and it was almost like you said, that over emotional. Like he saw Sting and was just like struck
In
by.
shock. Yeah.
His
To make sure it was
emotions.
really him and not
Somebody in the makeup. Yeah.
And then that opened a couple more doors, right? You guys got to go
You
to.
and Uncle Genna got to go to.
He sent us to a wrestling match in Oceanside
Yeah.
with
Sting
front row
did.
tickets.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's guys tossing each other out of the ring.
Cameron's like,
So
"Right, bro,
Right
this
in
is
front of
great."
him. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was
How
loving
fun.
it. Yeah, he
That
was
is
like,
Yeah, and Sting sent a video message, and he just like how's my buddy Cameron doing? And I mean, he became my bestie before he was your
Right.
bestie, but then I just connected them directly. And then,
Well, and then so like I'm in the hospital with Cameron one time, and I get the message directly from Sting. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, I hope this is okay. I got your number. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
it's
I
fine.
have lots of important people in my contacts.
Yeah, they and Dale, who was the demon, he was actually. So I ran into friends in. Well, I didn't run. Yeah, kind of ran into friends in Vegas, and was asking them about something totally different. And then they're like, "Yeah, anytime you have any like questions, my son knows these people because their son is a professional baseball player." So I'm like, "What about Sting, the wrestler?" They're like, "He might. I mean, da 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 da." So before you know it, that full thing went full force. The other thing kind of died off, but that, and I was on the phone with the demon for like 2 hours one night.
Several hours.
Yeah,
sounds scary.
I was learning all about his family. Like we're total buddies. Like his dad passed away. His dad was Dale's dad was a professional baseball player, but back in the day, and he knows a lot of people. And so when his dad passed away, I sent him a text message. Like we're in touch.
Guys are
And
besties.
when you guys go to Florida eventually for your last outstanding wish. He's about an hour and a half from Orlando. So he's like, if I can go down and meet them, I will.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah, he follows on Facebook, and
Yeah.
so he'll message and,
Yeah.
and reach out periodically.
they're so sweet. They're both Christians, I believe. No, I don't know if they all, but yeah, they're both Christians. So it's just beautiful. And Dale does he has his own fundraiser or charity that he does. So he has a heart for this kind of stuff anyways. And obviously Sting does too. He's a great guy. And then you guys went, Bengals are the favorite.
We did.
So I've definitely rubbed off on Cameron, obviously. With, like, all right, you want to watch wrestling? We'll watch wrestling. You want to watch football? We'll watch football. He's going on hockey now, too.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he plays hockey.
So got him into watching football the last few years, and, gave him the gift of being a Bengals fan, which can leave you with some disappointment during the season. But, you guys set us up with an amazing experience, connected us with an absolutely amazing experience.
Cameron thought we were just going to watch the game. He had we had said it several times, but I don't think it really.
He didn't really know what that meant.
Was going to happen.
We were staying in a hotel right by the stadium. We went to on-the-field practice the day before, standing there talking to one of the guys that used to play, and I went to grade school with his kids.
Wow.
Small world.
Gosh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a fantastic guy named Max Montoya, who played for the Bengals and the Raiders. And got to sit there and chat with him while we watched practice, and Cameron's, picking out all the players that he knows. And then after practice, almost the entire team just starts making their way down the line. And so he got to meet, Joe Flacco was starting quarterback.
Joe Burrow was injured.
Burrow's
He had
in.
surgery
His
the day before we got
Toe
there.
jam or whatever it's called.
So
Toe
they-
jam.
Turf toe.
It's like the grossest
Yes, toe jam.
name.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
not
sent us
it.
The football that had Joe Burrow's signature already on it. And he just got to add and add and add until he has
Oh, my
like
gosh.
22 signatures from the guys on the team on it, and they all
And
stop by.
pictures with
Yeah.
all of
Take pictures
this.
with
So
them,
great.
get down and talk with him, and just be very, everybody was outstanding.
Did he meet
Amazing
Chase?
guys.
No. Did he?
Met Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase
Higgins
Brown,
too?
Chase
Joe
was my
Flacco.
favorite. Got down with Cameron, at his level. It was just.
T. Higgins, right?
So that
which
was
one?
Cam Taylor Britt.
Oh, Cam Taylor. Okay.
Yeah, that
sorry.
got down with him, was
Sorry,
talking
Chase.
with him.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Chase.
So exciting.
Ted
Wow.
Karras, the center, came over before practice even started, and they were even supposed to do that just to say hi and shake his hand.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I would have been so
amazing.
starstruck.
Yeah,
Matt was in the back, very starstruck.
Yes, that
for
would have
sure.
been me.
Yeah.
Well, and the person that made that possible is a Hall of Famer, Bengal retired Hall of
Yeah.
Famer Isaac Curtis.
We got
He's
to
a
see
customer
him
of
and
ours.
meet him.
Aw, thank you to
That's so
him.
cool.
You did get to meet him.
We did, yeah.
There, right?
Biggest
Yeah,
Isaac
he's
there.
yeah.
And,
He's such a sweetheart.
got to play catch with my son on the Bengals football field.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's cool.
A heck of a memory that we'll have.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, and these things like, still God is in the details because it's not like it's just like one of those things where it just so happens that Isaac is a customer.
Right.
And a customer enough to be regular to know him. Mm-hmm. And he was so gracious and called, they are somebody still at that, he was always, wasn't he always a Bengals player?
I think so.
I think he was always. So he's kind of legendary there. But obviously they don't, he doesn't have the power to make it all happen. He has the power to connect you to the
Right.
people and then the respect of the people to consider you. But in life, that's so what it's all about because, I will say when we sent Tristan to the Jets, I just reached out to the Jets, you just try different customer service and you try all the different things and sometimes it sticks and sometimes they love the story and they'll pass it on, but you never know. So those kind of connections like Isaac really help to get it to happen. And it was just one email and we started the ball rolling. So it was amazing, but we can't always do that level of things because we're such a small organization.
Right.
We don't have all this the weight that Make-A-Wish does. So, and then it's hard. A lot of times with wishes, when we get an idea for a wish, I want to throw it out to social media land and say, does anyone know this, and that? But you can't because Benny's follow us, and then they'll be then they'll see what we're trying to do. So it's pretty tricky. So I'm throwing this out there. If you know any celebrities, any athletes, if you have any connections to any kind of world like that, that's the hardest world to get into is the athletes and the artists and actors and all that stuff. So please reach out and let us know. Yes. We can bank it for a future. All right. So today, what does Charity for Charity family mean to you guys?
It's built a community where we haven't had one. We've fallen victim to the military and families and friends moving away and moving around. So being up here in Marietta for the past few years, we haven't exactly grown much of a community up here. It's also been a roller coaster for the last few years. So it's just...
It's a beacon of hope.
Yeah.
I'm going to use your word from earlier. And it was just positivity, a light at the end, no matter what it is. And it's not even just when things are going wrong. Yeah. It's connecting with different people they reach out, Pam and different individuals will just be like, hey, how are you doing today? Aww. You know what? I really needed that. Because I just had a 20-minute conversation with Mailman because I don't talk to anybody. But
Well,
and you've made besties.
We have.
Yeah. You guys.
There's an inherent loneliness that goes into it sometimes when you're taking care of somebody who's so medically fragile. That just kind of happens naturally. Of course. So your guys' introduction to this community has also just connected us to other families who feel that too. And you realize that you're not alone.
It's not identical, but there's still a lot of the stressors and a lot of the things that come with it.
Yeah, you deal with the same type of whether it's
Sammy, Maddie's mom, and I connected on Facebook, and with her being inpatient right now, I'm like, hey, do you guys have any allergies? I'm going to do some freezer crock pot meals for you guys. So I'm going to drop them off ready to go. And it's just this kind of ripple effect.
I love that.
You guys toss the stone and you get to just kind of see the ripples in the water after that of who you guys are touching and how far it is going.
Well, and that I have chills because it's one of my favorite parts is you all connecting and you all having these relationships and support systems and seeing you guys with Jenna and Scott, your family's so connected and the kids are so close. Right. And Cameron made them corsages, the girls' corsages. So cute. I mean, it's just the cutest thing. And that just blesses my heart so much. Those are huge things from my perspective, and that's where I see God orchestrating it.
Had you not selected Cameron that year or Janet that
and you went through a lot of it together. It was a journey, a road traveled together for the most part, outside of dresses. That gave you an opportunity to bond to Rosario too. We did. But yeah, so and you and Scott, you guys are bonded, yeah. Different. You're both heroes.
gone a lot,
Both
so,
heroes.
yeah.
They're both gone a lot. Yeah, they're both. He's a first responder and you're military, but I kind of cluster that all in the same thing. So you guys get it. You guys get each other on that level.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's very easy to talk with him, and I mean, just today, Ramon reached out of the blue to check in and say, "Hey, I know everything is crazy. Whatever you guys need, you have enough on your plate."
All amazing.
Man.
What a sweet person.
I know.
Yeah,
I
he
love
is.
that.
Me too.
You guys are awesome.
He is.
Did you meet Brandon? Brandon Denhalter? He's the one that Ramon. No, he met. Did he meet Ramon? No, Ramon met him, and that's how Ramon found out
In
about
the
Charity
store?
for Charity.
The
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've met Brandon.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
He was military.
He's also retired military. Yeah. So that's a Ramon and him. So yeah, we'll have to get all you military dudes together.
They can do it fun Dad's Day. Do something.
Yeah. Brandon's fun too. Yeah, you guys would have fun together. Anyway, I'm just like going off on all these side connections. I love it. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We've covered wishes and Charity for Charity and all your stories. And what can we be praying for you guys for? These are like everything.
How much extra time you got? I've just continued strength in the medical staff for Cameron, and he's got a couple of surgeries coming up still this year, and Matt's deployment. Just keeping him on your prayer list.
Yes.
For sure.
My ability
Your health,
to keep
too.
correct
Yes.
everything that I have going on.
So Shelby and Cameron's health and Matt's future deployment. And just sanity. Okay, we'll pray for that. We'll pray that a therapist just follows you around and so you don't have to make appointments.
Or that your hair grows in or something.
Maybe that's your prayer, Shelby. All right. Well, thank you again for your service.
Yes, thank you.
And you both, thank you for just being incredible, inspiring humans. You have a choice that you make every single day, and that is, am I going to approach this with a poor me attitude, or am I going to approach it to conquer it and to get through it? And so, you, just like I don't know that those little ripples are happening underneath us, you don't know the same. And there's perfectly healthy families that you are inspiring and touching as well, because you live a life that a lot of people can't relate to. Both of you do. And so you set an example for faith and for perseverance and all of those things. And so it's something that the world needs, a lot of that. Yes. And so anyway, thank you for what you give to others, and take some time for yourself. We'll try to plan some play dates soon. We'll get your girl out of
Those
the
are
house.
always fun.
Yeah, she likes it. Remember, we went to try the dresses on, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go to lunch. Do you guys? And they're like, we have, the guys are at home and we're free. So we walked around the mall and we went to lunch.
Shoe shopping, yeah.
And who knew? I didn't know. Like, I didn't know you guys that well at that time, and I didn't know you needed that, but it was just one of those things that was last minute, like, hey, Shelby, you want to come with us? And like, yeah. So just love how God works in everyone's lives, but especially in this organization. So grateful for that. All right.
Thank you guys for everything.
You are welcome. It is our
Really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Well, we're happy that you allow us into your life and that we get to be a part of your family too.
It's tough. It's very, it's a vulnerable place to be in. But I think, kind of like you said, you don't know who we touch. I hope somebody out there just doesn't hesitate to reach out and absolutely feels the strength to be able to say something or ask for help.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you.
That's not all. We'll be back next week with somebody. I forgot to look.
Who is it, Tracy?
I don't know. Tracy will look. She's our techie girl. She's like, no, I'm not. I just detangle cables. Cords.
I don't think anyone's scheduled.
Oh, we might not.
I don't have any.
I might have to
on my
chase
calendar.
somebody down. All right. Well, we'll surprise you guys next week.
Yes,
with
that's right.
What we're going to do and who we're going to have or not. All right. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram Bumbershoot Charity, and then also follow us on anywhere you listen to podcasts. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like,